Welcome into the episode of Patrick Jones Baseball. On this week's episode, we are talking about the Shark Tank of college recruiting. And so here's what I mean. We've all seen, or if you haven't, maybe you should go check it out. Shark Tank, which is a show been popular for 20 years. And the way it works is people who have companies, startups will come in and pitch their idea to these five really successful sharks, as they call it. And if one of the sharks likes the idea that they're pitched and the business model and the business itself and the founder, then they offer a percentage, they offer amount of money and then a percentage to partner with that founder. The way it ends up working a lot of times though is someone will go into the Shark Tank, they'll pitch an idea, and then one of the sharks will offer them maybe the exact amount that they were looking for, or maybe a little bit less, whatever it is. And then that founder who pitches the idea says, actually, I want to see if any other sharks in the Shark Tank are interested in my idea too. I want to see if I can get any other offers. And what happens from time to time is the second the person does that, that previous shark who had already offered them immediately goes, actually, you know what? I'm going to pull my offer since since you want to see what else is out there and you don't want to work with me, even though I asked exactly what you wanted. I'm out. And so college baseball recruiting is very similar and can be very similar to the Shark Tank. And I'm going to tell you a story here. So recently, I had a player who called me up and he got an offer from a really good, I thought it was a really good program, mid-major Division I program and a good conference close to home. And so I asked him, hey, okay, what else do you want to do here? And he said, "Oh, I want to try to get some offers at Power Four schools." And I was like, "Okay, like why? Why is that?" He's like, "Well, my thought process is like I want to go to a Power Four school." Which, and he even said this. He's like, I get it. Like every kid says that they want to go Power Four, but I want to go Power Four. And I think if I can go to a Power Four and develop for a couple years, and then even by the time I'm a junior, if I can start then that would be great. It's like, okay, what's the end goal? That's why I asked him. It's like, what is your end goal? And I was like, well, then the end goal is to play in the major leagues. It's like, okay, I gotcha. So let's revert back. And I said, so your plan is, so let's just say hypothetically we can get you a Power Force offer. And let's just say your exact plan works out. Your first couple years you don't play that much, and by the time you're a junior, you start. Here's the thing, the way it was working right now, you're not gonna last to your junior year. You're gonna get cut before then, because if you're gonna go to a Power 4 school and just sit the bench or just play a little bit here or there, you're gonna end up in the portal. Like, you're not even gonna last that long. And the other thing is, if you waited by the time you're a junior to play, and let's say you did end up making it through those first couple years to that junior year, and then you ended up playing, well, what ends up happening is you got 1 year of a track record for the draft. 1 year, that's it, versus someone else who went to a mid-major, they have 3 years of a track record. Because if you go to a good mid-major, they're playing a lot of the big SEC, Big 12, all those schools early before conference play anyway. So you're just missing out on a ton of development just to go to a Power 4 school. But I was like, okay, like, even if that's so I said, here's the thing that we're also not thinking about is the current landscape of college recruiting. And what I mean is this: because of the new 34-man rosters, coaches are very, very patient to give offers now. That's the biggest thing that I've noticed. 2 years ago, a coach would go see a shortstop player, a center fielder play maybe one or two times, and they'd be willing to offer him, because if it didn't work out, it was nothing bad would happen, because they had so many spots that they could bring guys in the fall and have on their roster. That's not the case now with the 34-man roster. And what people don't understand too is, well, I just want an opportunity to go play in the fall, and so even if I don't make the 34-man roster, I just want an opportunity or a shot. What you don't understand is every single college and university, so every single institution has different rules on how many players that they will allow a college program to now bring in to start the fall. So what I mean is, you have to get down to a 34-man roster by the spring, okay? Some schools are saying, no, 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 you can only bring in 34 players to begin with. Some schools are telling colleges that. And so obviously that's going to change how they recruit. Some other schools are saying like you can bring in 40 players or whatever it is, but it's different per institution. So one, make sure to ask how many players are you planning on bringing in the fall. And then two, understand because a lot of these coaches are now handcuffed because of the new rules, they are going to be very, very, very selective. So it's never ever been harder to get a Division One offer than it is right now. So going back to the Shark Tank analogy, if you have a school that's going to be a good fit and you like the school, you like the campus, just understand. I mean, it's going to be level dependent because Division Three, they're not going to probably pull offers or anything like that. But Division One, they're going to go after the best player available. And obviously, the longer you take to make a decision, the more likely that they start thinking we need to start planning that this is not going to happen, and we're going to start offering other people. And yeah, you might get another offer down the road, or you might get injured. And there's so many different things that could happen. And again, I always think about it, and that's why the first question I asked this particular player was, "What's your end goal here?" The end goal is to make it to the major leagues. Great. Well, I can promise you, if you play and develop, and you can only really develop by actually playing in games, not just doing drills, uh, you, you're going to have an opportunity at this particular school to make it to the major leagues. And I even asked him, I was like, has anyone ever been drafted from this league? Of course they have. Yeah, the answer was yes. So they not even drafted a first round pick, top 10 pick a few times. So I think it's important to take a step back and to think about what you want long term, and then think about one, like, okay, do you trust those people, not the logo, but the people who are going to be at that institution? So that's the first thing that I think is important to think about. And then two is like, okay, like, you trust those people. Do you like the school? You like the school. It's a good fit financially. Your family can make it work. Awesome. I mean, it's kind of a no-brainer at that point. And so I think it's advice I wanted to come on the air and give to you, because I think it's something that at times, especially in this era with all the changes that have gone on, one, I feel that it's important to continue to help educate people on what's going on, and not just my own players, but everyone out there. And then two, understand, like, what are some of the questions you need to be asking yourself throughout this process. I think it's something that you can ask yourself. It's very hard to go through this process by yourself because there's a lot of emotion that goes into place, and you've never been through this process before. And everyone you've talked to maybe tells you exactly what you want to hear. And after each conversation, you're like, oh, I want to go play for that coach or that coach, because they're going to sell you on their program. So having some sort of third party that's not your parents, because again, they're emotionally involved. And unless they come from unless they're involved in baseball on an everyday basis, college baseball specifically, it's going to be hard for them to even know too. So having someone that you can go to, a trusted third party, whether it be someone like myself or just someone else who can give you objective feedback, I think is very, very, very important. So to wrap this up, because I wanted this to be a shorter video here, to wrap this up, it's going to be one, figure out what's your end goal. What do you truly want? And then two, does this place help you get to that end goal? Can it help you get to that end goal? And remember, there's the transfer portal. There's all these other things that are out there that you go anywhere and you dominate. And when I say dominate, I'm not talking about hitting 260. I'm talking about hitting 330 with 10, 15 home runs, 30, 40 stolen bases. Like, that would be dominating, for example. So you go to a place and you dominate, you're going to have opportunities all over the place, whether it be at the professional level, whether it be at other levels of college baseball. And I think that's just something to always keep in the back of your mind. So hope you enjoyed this. Hope this was helpful for you. And if you have any questions or anything like that, please feel free to comment if you're watching this on YouTube, or feel free to send me an email, jonesbaseballtraining@gmail.com. All right. Thanks. See everybody next time. Parents, are you tired of spending money going from showcase to camp, not even knowing if a coach is even looking for your son's position or even knows his name? One of the reasons that I started my college baseball recruiting service is to help guide families throughout the recruiting process, so you're not having to waste money and time going from showcase or camp to camp. If you're interested in hearing more about how I can help your son, head to patrickjonesbaseball.com and fill out the form. That's patrickjonesbaseball.com. Fill out the form right on the homepage, and I'll be in touch.